What can we learn from the man who says he invented trap? Let's go over 5 things that we can take away from Southside's production and use in our own. Number 1, you don't have to overthink the melody. You can just get something that you like and move forward. I watched a lot of his live streams and he just starts with like a simple melody. Basically what I've seen him do to start a lot of beats is he'll just like pull open a piano. I'm using a piano from Contact right now, and then he'll get the metronome going and then just, you know, get a simple melody going. And as you guys know I like to do, I averaged out his BPM for a lot of his beats and it came out to about 140. So let's see if we can come up with some stuff. Ooh. So the idea here is that we're going to keep it simple now and then spice it up down the road. The cool part about working with little melodies like this is that you don't need chords right away. Because when melodies have the sustain pedal going or they're in reverb or delay, the space kind of creates the chords for you. Number 2, stick to your guns. You do not have to be some sort of musical genius to make good beats. Essentially his strong suit is his ear, not necessarily being like some sort of piano god, and he capitalizes on it. And that's what we want to do. We want to play to our strengths. What I've seen him do a lot is take these simple melodies and then he'll load up a synth like, I don't know, Nexus or something, and then cycle through the presets and then manipulate it with some sort of effect sequencer like Shaper Box or Effectrix. You know, just so that he changes it into something that sounds a little more different and unique. If we take this little melody that I just did, we'll mute the piano for now, and I'm just gonna use any synth. I'm gonna use Massive. So I'm just gonna scroll through these. All right, cool, I think we can work with that. So I'm just going to press Command T for a new audio track. I'm going to select the input as resampling so I can record the output of Ableton into a new track and then start recording. And actually when I listen back to that, I kind of hear that it should be lower. So I'm gonna lower this. Okay, I think that's cool. So let's try opening up a Shaper Box and seeing what we can come up with here. All right, let's roll with something like that for right now. I'm going to actually record the output of this as well. Now, what I wanted to do was add like a little tape drop thing right here. So I'm just going to separate the clip with Command E and then go to this top right tab here. In this left menu, I'm gonna make sure it's on clip and then go to transposition so I can automate the transposition. And then I just got my pencil out by pressing B. We're just gonna create a bend down an octave, see how that sounds. Number 3, contrast is key. Every element in his beats fit really nicely together because nothing is interfering with anything else. First up, his melodies are usually dark and spacey and sort of pushed back in the mix, and we've already kind of done that because we, put a low pass filter and lots of reverb on our main melody sound. Not to mention, we lowered the pitch of it, so it kind of has a natural way of reducing the high frequency content anyway. But in contrast with the melody, his drums are super saturated and they're really bright and they're like loud and in your face. So they easily stand out from one another and they create that bounce. All right, so let's get some crazy knocking bright drums going. So the lesson here is that whatever is most crucial in your genre, make sure you leave room by creating contrast between other things in the mix. Oh, and also, if you want to get a little bit more detail on how to get your drums just banging, check out the episode of In the Beat called How to Get Your Drums to Knock, where I go through the whole process step by step for you. So the bonus here of the extreme contrast is that, we've got the dark melody, we've got the bright drums, but now what we also have is we've carved room out in the center of the frequency spectrum for where the vocals will sit, which in many genres is the most important element of all. Not only do we leave room for the vocals, but we also leave room at the very bottom end for the 808s, which leads to our next takeaway, which is know the genre. Southside is absolutely relentless with the 808s, and this is trap, so you have to have banging 808s. In a lot of his beats, he has them kind of going continually instead of short and spaced out like those, it's kind of more like. And most of the time, you know, they follow the kick. For this beat, it would go something like this. He doesn't really try to get too crazy or too complicated with the bass melody. It's just those simple patterns that you feel in your chest. It seems like he just has a really good understanding about what his beats are trying to do. There isn't a bunch of like competing stuff at the bottom end. It's just the 808s, the drums, the melody, and the vocals. Which leads us to number 5, which is Do You. In a lot of interviews, he mentions the fact that he does not try to do anything that doesn't feel like him, doesn't feel authentically him. He doesn't try to please people or make beats that he thinks other people will like. He's just constantly reinforcing the fact that you just have to make stuff that you like, and then you will attract the right artists and the right fans and the right people. They say that it's better to be a first-rate version of yourself than a second-rate version of somebody else. So just make what you want to make, and if you like it, somebody else will probably like it too. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed these lessons from Southside, and let me know who's been inspiring you in your production lately down in the comments below. We'll see you in the next In the Beat. Peace.